All right, guys, so we're going to try and do these and see how long Noel lasts without interrupting. So the next thing we're going to do are graphing logarithmic functions. And the logarithmic parent function is f of x equals log of x. And this one, remember the base is 10, so it's log base 10 of x. A logarithmic function is the inverse of an exponential function. And an inverse means that you take the x's and the y's and you flip them around. Okay, so the graph of an exponential function. So we know that f of x equals 10 to the x power is going to look something like this. Okay, so because they're inverses and their x and y's flip-flop, the graph of a logarithmic function starts in the negative y's and goes up into the positive y's, like that. All right, so because our x and our y's are flipping, our asymptote changes. So over here, our asymptotes for y equals a number. For logarithmic functions, our asymptotes are x equals a number, which means that they're now vertical asymptotes instead of horizontal asymptotes. Okay, so it's going to change our domains and our ranges just a little bit from the over here. All right. So when we're graphing exponential functions, we're actually going to turn this into an exponential function and then use the exponential function to get the logarithmic function. So our first one of f of x equals log base 2 of x, we're actually going to turn into the exponential function of 2 to the x power. And we're going to use that to make our t-chart. All right, so remember we use -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2 for our x values. All right, so we should be familiar enough with 2 to the x power by now, but we're going to go through it anyway. So we put 2 in for x, we have 2 squared, which is 4. And then 1 in for x, so 2 to the first power is 2. 2 to the 0 power is always 1. And then remember, negatives don't make anything negative, it makes them reciprocals. So 2 to the negative first power is the reciprocal of 2, so we have 1/2. And 2 to the negative second power is the reciprocal of 2 squared, so this is 1/4. So that is if we wanted to graph the exponential function 2 to the x power, but we want to graph the logarithmic function. So to do that, you take your f of x and your x and you switch their places so that our t-chart now looks like that. So 1/4, 1/2, 1, 2, and 4 are now our x values, and -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2 are y values. So we're going to now graph this like our normal point. So it's 1/4, -2. So 1/4 and -2, and 1/2 and -1, 1 and 0, 2 and 1, and 4 and 2. Okay. So now, because we have a vertical asymptote, that vertical asymptote is our y-axis. So we're never going to cross our y-axis this time. So we're going to start down here, and we're going to go up through our points, and our graph ends up like that, which is a little hard to see on this graph. So let me see if I can find a pen. All right, so it starts down here, and it makes this shape here. All right, so that is the shape of our logarithmic function. And Noelle's about to say hi. All right, get down.